Hello and welcome. What you're about to watch is a short training course that we originally created as part of a charity project called Positive Focus. Now, this was an initiative aimed at helping photographers support charities through powerful storytelling images, and it's something that was supported by Innovate UK. Now, we've decided to share it here on the MYP channel because we believe the skills and ideas that it covers are valuable to any photographer, particularly those who are looking to use their talent to help charities. So, whether you're here to learn, grow your portfolio, or simply give something back, we hope you enjoy it. Hello and welcome to Positive Focus, Telling Stories That Matter. I'm Paul Cooper and I'll be guiding you through this course, which is designed to help you create meaningful, impactful images that support the incredible work of charities. You see, photography is more than just capturing moments, it's about storytelling. A single image has got the power to inspire action, raise awareness and make a real difference. And charities rely on powerful visuals to communicate their mission and connect with supporters, and ultimately bring about real change. And that's where you, as a photographer, can help. This course is designed to equip you with the skills, the knowledge, and the confidence to produce high-quality images that will resonate. Whether you're an aspiring photographer looking to build your portfolio, or an experienced professional who wants to give something back, this training will help you to develop a unique skill set that is tailored to the world of charity photography. Throughout this course, we'll explore the power of visual storytelling and how charities use images to connect with their audiences, and the technical skills that are needed to capture engaging, emotive, and well-composed images, and how to communicate and collaborate effectively with charities to meet their specific needs. The ethical considerations will be looked at in charity photography, how to respect the dignity and privacy of your subjects, and the best ways to edit and deliver your images professionally. And finally, how to build your portfolio, share your work and continue to grow as a positive focus photographer. This isn't just about learning photography, it's about using your skills to make a difference. Every image you take has the potential to tell a story that matters. By the end of this course, you'll have the tools and the confidence to work with charities effectively, producing photography that helps them achieve their goals. So whether you're here to enhance your photography skills, gain experience in a meaningful way, or simply to use your talent to support causes you care about, welcome. You're about to embark on a journey that will not only enhance your skills, but also have a lasting impact on the communities and the organisations that you work with. So why does charity photography matter? Well, we live in a world where we're surrounded by images, and every day we scroll past hundreds, if not thousands of them. But how many of those images truly capture our attention? More importantly, how many of them move us and make us think or inspire us to act? For charities, photography is more than just a way to document events. It's an essential storytelling tool. Now, the right images can create an emotional connection, bringing their cause to life in a way that words alone simply cannot. A well-crafted photograph can make someone pause, feel something, and then take action. And that action, in the case of charities, can help them immensely. Think of some of the most powerful charity campaigns you've seen, whether it's an image of a volunteer helping someone in need, a compelling portrait of a beneficiary, or a scene of a charity's work in action. Those visuals stay with us. They evoke emotion, they create empathy, and ultimately they drive change. So where do you fit into all of this? Well, your role as a charity photographer isn't just about taking photos. It's about creating images that tell a story, communicate a message, and inspire action. Charities need high-quality images for fundraising campaigns, social media posts, annual reports, websites and marketing materials, not to mention press and media coverage. Now, your photographs will help charities connect with their audience and showcase the impact of their work. But this requires more than just technical skill. You need to approach each assignment with empathy, professionalism and a deep understanding of the charity's mission. So what makes a great charity photograph? Not every photo will have the same impact. To create truly powerful images, consider these key elements. Authenticity. The best charity photographs feel real. So avoid staged or artificial moments and capture genuine emotion and human connection. A strong composition is good. A well-framed image will guide the viewer's eye and strengthen the story that you're trying to tell. And look at the lighting. Natural light can enhance the warmth and realism, but artificial light can help in difficult conditions. Look for emotion. A great charity photograph makes the viewer feel something, whether it's empathy, hope, or inspiration. And look at the context. Show more than just a face. Include the environment and the details that help to tell the full story. One of the most important aspects of charity photography is ethics. When you photograph people, especially those in vulnerable situations, you have a responsibility to portray them with dignity and respect. Here are some key ethical guidelines to follow. Respect privacy and dignity. Always obtain consent before taking photos, especially when you're working with children or vulnerable individuals. Avoid exploitation. Your images should empower, not victimise. And focus on strength and resilience rather than pity. You should represent stories truthfully, so never mislead or manipulate an image to make a situation appear worse or more dramatic than it is in real life. Be culturally sensitive. If you're working with communities that are different from your own, take some time to understand their customs and traditions. So in this module, we've covered the power of photography in charity work, your role as a charity photographer, and the ethical considerations that you need to keep in mind. Photography is an incredible tool for good, but with that power comes responsibility. Next, we'll explore how to build strong relationships with charities, ensuring that your work meets their needs while making a meaningful impact. Photography is a collaborative process, and when you're working with charities, strong relationships are essential. Now, the better you understand the charity's mission, the more effectively you can capture images that serve their needs. Many charities will rely on volunteer photographers. While they appreciate the support, they also need reliability and professionalism and a genuine commitment to their cause. Now, a great relationship between a photographer and a charity will lead to more trust and creative freedom for that photographer and greater opportunities for ongoing work, as well as a deeper impact as your images will align more closely with the charity's objectives. Before you start shooting, take the time to understand what the charity wants to achieve with their photography. You see, some charities need images for fundraising campaigns and others for social media engagement or annual reports. Some may need event coverage, while others need portrait photography of their staff or volunteers or beneficiaries. Asking the right questions will help you deliver images that truly make an impact. What is the purpose of these images? Who is the target audience? Where will the images be used? And are there any branding or style guidelines that you need to consider? Are there ethical considerations or sensitivities that you need to be aware of? Clear communication is key to a successful partnership. Many charities don't have dedicated photography teams, so they may not always know how to brief a photographer. That's where you come in. Be proactive in setting expectations. Introduce yourself professionally, explain who you are and what you offer, outline your process, let them know how you work and what they can expect from you. Discuss timelines and deliverables, and be clear about when they'll receive images and in what formats. Check in regularly and keep the lines of communication open before, during and after the shoot. A strong relationship with a charity is built on trust, understanding and shared goals. The better the collaboration, the more powerful your images will be. Next, we'll explore the technical skills that will help you capture stunning, high-impact images for charities. To create compelling images for charities, you need to balance your technical expertise with storytelling skills. Now, in this module, we'll cover the fundamental techniques that will help you capture impactful, high-quality photographs that will truly support a charity's mission. Before we dive into those technical skills, let's talk about equipment. The good news is you don't need the most expensive camera to take great images for charities. A good understanding of composition and lighting and storytelling is far more important than the gear that you use. Now, whether you're using a professional DSLR, a mirrorless camera, or even a smartphone, you can still produce high quality, emotive images that will support a charity's work. If you're using a smartphone, be aware of its strengths and limitations. While you may not have full control over aperture and shutter speed and ISO like you would with a DSLR, you can still take excellent images. You should consider using manual mode if that's available to you to be able to adjust the focus and exposure, and take advantage of portrait mode that a lot of phones have so that you can create background blur. You may find that in high contrast situations you need to switch your phone to HDR mode, and that will give you better detail in the highlights and the shadows. And also make sure that your lens is clean and that your phone is held stable to avoid any blurry shots. If you use third-party applications like Lightroom Mobile, then you will have an enhanced set of controls at your fingertips, and it will enable you to get the absolute best out of your smartphone. For those using DSLRs or mirrorless cameras, you'll have more control over settings and image quality. But here's what you should consider. First of all, your camera type. Any modern DSLR or mirrorless camera with manual settings will give you full creative control. When it comes to lenses, a 50mm or 85mm prime lens is great for portraits, whilst a 24 to 70mm zoom or something in that range will provide versatility for both events and general photography. If you have a tripod, then it can be useful for low light situations and staged portraits where stability is needed, but most of the time you're probably going to be working handheld. Reflectors and diffusers can be handy, but you quite often will not have the time or the space to be able to use them. If you can, that's brilliant, and they will help to control the light, to soften the shadows and balance the exposure. You may have an external flash unit or some LED light panels or something along those lines. It can be helpful for controlled indoor shoots where you need additional lighting because it's maybe too dark from the natural light, or the light within the room, the artificial lighting, is maybe not quite as good as it could be. When it comes to memory cards and batteries, always carry spares to avoid running out during a crucial moment. Composition is the foundation of a strong photograph. Where you place your subject, how you frame your shot, and the way elements interact within the frame can dramatically affect the emotional impact of an image. A well-composed image will draw the viewer in and keep them engaged. So instead of simply centering a subject, experiment with the rule of thirds by placing key elements along the grid lines to create a balanced composition. And use leading lines, naturally guide the viewer's eye to the focal point. Use things such as roads and fences and architectural lines within the shot. Use framing within your frame, so use objects like doorways and windows or natural elements to create depth and add storytelling context. And don't forget about negative space. Leaving empty areas around your subject will add emphasis and emotional weight. You can use symmetry and patterns by finding balanced repeating elements that will add structure and visual interest to your shots. Light is the essence of photography. And now, whether you're working indoors or outside, understanding how to use light effectively can make an average shot extraordinary. But there are different types of lighting and different ways in which we can use it. Natural light is often the best option for charity photography, because it provides an authentic and emotive feel to portraits and events. It makes them feel real. But think about the time of day that you use that natural light. There's the golden hour. That's when you get the warm, soft light, either just after sunrise or before sunset. It'll enhance skin tones and it will add depth to your images. Think about using diffused light when it's a cloudy day, or you can find a shaded area. You can get some lovely soft, even lighting that's great for portraits, and it doesn't give you any harsh shadows. Try to avoid the harsh midday sun if you're doing any kind of pictures of people, any kind of portrait work, because the light from directly overhead just creates really nasty shadows under the eyes, and it's very rarely flattering. Now, sometimes you can use it to inject a bit of drama into your photography, but in general we would avoid that kind of light. If you must shoot at midday, try to find some shade or use a reflector or a diffuser to soften the light. Sometimes you might find you need artificial light. Now, rather than relying on the artificial light within a venue, which can be a bit dodgy, it's best if you have your own LED panels or speed lights so that you're in control of where the light is coming from. By mastering composition, lighting and camera settings, you'll significantly enhance the impact of your charity photography. The ability to adjust to different conditions and shoot with intention will help you create images that are not only visually compelling, but also serve a powerful purpose. Next, we'll talk about how to prepare for assignments and to ensure that you're ready to deliver outstanding results. So now that we've explored the fundamentals of charity photography, let's move on to an essential part of the process: preparation. A well-planned shoot doesn't just improve efficiency, it ensures you capture the best possible images that align with the charity's needs. So before heading out, take time to research the organisation that you're working with. Understanding their mission, their values and their audience will help to shape your approach. Look at the images they already use. Do they favour bright, optimistic storytelling, or are their visuals more hard-hitting and emotional? Knowing this in advance means your work will complement their existing messaging rather than feeling out of place. Now, once you have a clear sense of what's needed, create a shot list. This doesn't have to be rigid, but having a list of key moments that you want to capture will help to structure your time effectively. For example, if you're covering a fundraising event, you might want shots of volunteers in action, audience reactions, and close-ups of any key speakers. If you're taking portraits, think about the backgrounds, the mood, and whether you need to capture people interacting with their environment. Packing your gear is another crucial step. While it's tempting to bring everything, charity assignments often require a lightweight and adaptable setup. So a good all-round camera with a versatile lens is usually enough. If you're shooting in unpredictable lighting, consider bringing a small LED light or a reflector or a speed light. Extra batteries and memory cards are essential. You really don't want to run out of power at a critical moment. And if you're shooting outdoors, be prepared for changes in weather by packing appropriate protective gear for yourself and for your camera. Logistics matter too. Confirm the time and location of your shoot and factor in any travel time so that you can arrive early and check out the venue. Check if you need any permissions. Some locations may have restrictions on photography, and if you're photographing people, especially children or vulnerable individuals, consent is a must. Many charities will have their own consent procedures, but it's always worth double checking before you start shooting. The charity may think you're handling this and vice versa, which could be a problem at a later date if neither of you have actually dealt with it. Another key aspect of preparation is thinking about contingency plans. You see, things don't always go as expected. Weather can change, schedules can shift, sometimes people might not turn up who you were expecting to be there, and lighting conditions might not be ideal. So having a backup plan ensures that you can adapt on the spot. If you're shooting an outdoor event and it suddenly rains, can you switch to indoor portraits instead? If a key subject doesn't turn up, do you have an alternative focus for the shoot? Finally, approach every assignment with professionalism. You're representing not just yourself, but also the charity and the people you photograph. So being punctual, well prepared and respectful will go a long way in building strong relationships that will lead to future opportunities for you. By planning ahead, you'll ensure that your shoot runs smoothly, that you capture the moments that matter, and that your work ultimately will serve the charity's goals. Now next, we'll focus on what happens after the shoot, how to edit and deliver professional quality images that will maximise their impact. Taking great photographs is only half the job. Once you've completed a shoot, the next step is to prepare, edit and then deliver your images in a way that maximises their impact. A charity's ability to tell a compelling story through your images depends on how well you present them. Let's start with post-processing. Now, the goal of editing is not to manipulate reality, it's to enhance your images while maintaining their authenticity. A well-edited photograph can draw the viewer's attention to key details and ensure that the image aligns with the charity's branding and message. Now, begin by making fundamental adjustments, that's exposure, contrast and white balance. These should be subtle but effective. If your image is slightly underexposed, brighten it just enough to bring out the details. If the colours look unnatural, correct them so that they appear true to life. Be mindful of cropping. A slight adjustment to the framing can strengthen composition and remove distractions and make the subject more prominent. But always consider the charity's needs. If the images will be used in layouts with text, make sure you leave enough space for graphic elements. There's no point shooting vertical images if the charity has requested landscape shots for use as banners on their website. So always deliver images that meet the technical specification contained in the initial brief. One of the most overlooked but crucial aspects of professional delivery is file organisation and format selection. Charities often work with limited resources and they need images that are easy to access and use. So providing them in the right format ensures that your work is both practical and impactful. JPEG should be the standard format that you supply, as it's widely supported across all platforms and retains high enough image quality whilst keeping the file sizes manageable. You need to consider the resolution and size of the files that you supply. For print use, you should be providing high resolution files, so at least 300 dots per inch, that's DPI, and a minimum of 3000 pixels on the longest edge of the image. Now, these files would be ideal for printed materials such as brochures or posters or annual reports. For web use, you can supply a smaller version. 72 dots per inch, 72 DPI, is perfectly adequate, and a maximum width of 2000 pixels on the longest edge. That would be perfectly fine for website and email use, and it will also keep the file sizes smaller, which means that they will load faster on a website and they're easier to email to people. For social media, many platforms will actually compress images anyway, so providing a version resized to around 1500 pixels on the longest edge will ensure that they will display well without unnecessary compression artifacts. When you're exporting your images, name your files logically. Avoid generic names like image1234 and instead use something that's descriptive, such as the charity name and the event and the date. Because if you use a system like this, it will make it easier for both the charity and yourself to find images later on. If you've got software that will allow you to edit IPTC metadata, which is the standard data fields that are used by most publications and newspapers, then it's a good idea to embed captions and copyright information directly into the image files. This will help charities keep track of usage rights, and it ensures that proper credit is given when the images are shared. The industry standard software for resizing files and editing them, and including things like the IPTC data, is of course Photoshop. You can also use Lightroom. They're both by Adobe, but they do both cost money to actually use, a subscription model. There are some free alternatives out there and we'll list those in the notes. If the charity has specific branding or style guidelines, then you should ensure that your edits align with those. See, some organisations prefer bright, optimistic imagery, whilst others may favour a more documentary style and natural approach. By understanding these preferences, it will help your images fit seamlessly into their communications. Alongside the images, think about maybe providing a short document that outlines the key shots that you've included and any of your recommendations for how they might be used. This small extra step will demonstrate your professionalism and it will help the charity to get the most value from your work. If you're working with maybe small charities, they don't have a lot of experience in maybe using professionally shot images, and so this kind of approach can really help them and help to educate them on how the images can be used to best effect. And finally, follow up with the charity after delivering your images. Check that they got them, ask for any feedback. Did the images meet their needs? It's an awkward question to ask, but you should ask it. Would they like any adjustments making? This will not only help refine your approach for future projects, but it will strengthen your relationship with the charity. You see, delivering professional results isn't just about technical ability. It's about making sure your work has the maximum possible impact. Now next, we'll explore how to build your portfolio and use your charity photography to create new opportunities for yourself. I've covered how to capture powerful images, work effectively with charities, and deliver professional results. Now let's look at how you can use this work to build your portfolio, grow your opportunities, and continue making an impact. Your portfolio is your showcase. It's what potential clients and charities and collaborators will look at when they're considering you for a project. The best portfolios don't just demonstrate technical skill, they tell a story. So when you're curating your charity photography portfolio, think about the narrative you want to present. Highlight images that show emotion, connection, and the tangible impact of the work that's been done. A mix of portraits, event coverage, and behind-the-scenes moments will demonstrate your versatility and your ability to capture a cause from different angles. You see, charities in general will need a wide range of different types of photography. So there's very little use in going to a charity just with portrait work or just with event photography, because most of them will need a really good spread of different types of images. Your presentation matters. So a well-structured online portfolio or a dedicated Instagram page can make a big difference in how your work is perceived. Keep it simple and clean and easy to navigate. If you're creating a website, consider including short captions that will provide a bit of context for each image. Who is in the photo, what's happening, and how this moment supports the charity's mission. Beyond your portfolio, sharing your work is an essential step in establishing yourself as a charity photographer. Social media is a great tool for this, but it's important to use it strategically. So engage with organisations that align with your values, comment on their posts, and maybe share your work in a way that highlights your commitment to meaningful storytelling. Remember, it's not just about gaining likes, it's about building connections. Networking is just as important as showcasing your images, so get involved in photography communities, attend charity events, and reach out to organisations that might benefit from your work. The more people who see your images and understand the value that you can provide, the more likely you are to be approached for future projects. And finally, consider the long-term impact of your work. Photography is a powerful tool for change, and by continuing to work with charities, you're not just building a portfolio, you're contributing to something much bigger than that. Stay in touch with the charities that you collaborate with, follow up on how your images are being used, and look for ways to keep it improving. Your skills will grow with every assignment, and so will your ability to tell stories that truly matter. So you now have the knowledge, the techniques and the ethical understanding to make a real difference through photography. Whether you're volunteering your time or looking to establish a career in this field, know that your work has the power to inspire action, to raise awareness and to support incredible causes. Thank you for being part of Positive Focus. We can't wait to see the impact that you make.